And now making his entrance to the ring, the former two-time heavyweight world champion, Iron Mike Tyson!
From what I can remember from the day I was born, it was always hard times, welfare, not much food, no money, crime-infested neighborhoods, murders, pimps, prostitutes, drugs, and it was survival of the fittest. And I had an older brother who was 5 years older than me, so he didn't spend much time around the house. He was in the programs. He was very smart and intelligent. He was the special kid on the block that was always in school. And me and my sister got caught up in the street life. So I was bullied a lot as a kid. I used to have pigeons, and one particular time some bully grabbed one of my pigeons and ripped his head off, and that was the first time I ever got into a fight. And I kind of like won. I was young, like 9, but I kind of like won. And I like fighting ever since because it gave me attention. People would say, hey, you was that guy that beat that big kid up, you was that guy. And I was like, everybody knew me from that incident. And so after that, older kids would bring other kids from different neighborhoods around my neighborhood, and they would pay us to fight each other. And that's how I started fighting. I probably had, in my life, I probably had 400 fights. I've been drugged since I was 9 years old.
Wow, what kind of drugs back then?
Cocaine, marijuana, alcohol, liquor. Because when I was younger, my mother, who wasn't educated on drugs and alcoholics, even though she'd been in college, in order to perhaps get me to go to sleep, I was making a lot of noise, she would give me alcohol.
Wow.
Thinking I would go to sleep, at that time. And so I started getting into a lot of trouble. By the time I was 12, I was arrested probably 40 times.
Yeah.
Everybody in the juvenile and the police department knew my name. Everybody, I was a regular. And so eventually they sent me away, and I was in this place. They sent me there for 2 years. And so I'm there, and eventually I get shipped away to another reformatory upstate New York. And I meet this gentleman named Bobby Stu, who's a former professional fighter. Not a big-time fighter, but just a former professional fighter. 4 10-round fights, never big time. And every weekend he started, he would box with the kids. And then one particular day he boxed me, and he beat the shit out of me, but I took the beating. He hit me in the stomach, I fell down, I got back up, but he kept beating the shit out of me. But I took it, and he thought that was a badge of courage. And so he started boxing me, started teaching me how to box. And then eventually I was, 13 then, I became too good. I never experienced love. My love was hurting people.
Yeah.
The more people I hurt, the more love I received.
Yeah.
And it just was a time in my life I grew up and I lived that life, and I received love, and I saw what love done once I became involved with my wife and we started having kids. And even though I had children before, I'd never been in a relationship when I was totally dedicated to. Just like I wasn't fighting to be the best fighter I could, I wanted to be the best father and the best husband I could totally become. And, well, let me say about myself, what I've experienced, because I can only speak on myself. My whole life lived with off my ego. Just I was a megalomaniac with a low self-esteem. If you said something, I always say I'm nobody, but if it's something I want to accomplish, I'm the greatest. I'm a god. I could accomplish something. But as far as my perspective on myself, I'm shit. Look at the life I come from. Even though I'm making all the money in the world, but look at me, my mother, my father, they're sex workers. What the fuck am I? Who am I? I'm a piece of shit. But I'm the highest paid athlete in the world. I'm the baddest man so-called on the planet. But that's the low self-esteem that I guess I received. So I guess that's what cuts worked on my ego. My ego is out of this world. Other people have I thought people should carry me. I shouldn't walk. It was just, but that's all I had to succeed. I didn't have no perspective of myself. I just looked at my idol, Jack Dempsey, all these guys, Kid Jockler, and I watched what they did. I watched what they said. Sometimes I said things that are really crude. You know what I mean? That's ironic sometimes. But I said because my heroes said. They said it in 1902, so it probably was. You know, they didn't, by the time they got into the press in America, they had 100 fights since then. But right now, they ain't. But the way the world is, as soon as you say something, automatically it's around the world. So I always tell people that these guys are kids, I'm immortal, they can never beat me, how dare them challenge. And I would just say all these dreadful things. That's because I had a low self-esteem. I would always talk down about others. I'll kill you next time. And it was just all because I was afraid of losing. Oh, absolutely. From custom models' perspective, I look at myself as nothing. I'm just pale, and I'm willing to do anything to myself to improve, to be the best. I'm willing to sacrifice my body. I'm willing to sacrifice my psychological health to just be the best in the world. And that's what really sacrifice is. You really have to sacrifice your life, regardless if it's a marriage. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your life for a marriage, or sacrifice your life for a goal you want to accomplish, and that's the goal the rules that I've always taken, is sacrifice and be objective. Wow, man, in all due respect, this is just, my mission is just to destroy everyone.